Hey, 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 it's Dr. Meredith Watson, the unapologetic therapist, the creator of the Phoenix Therapy Method. I work with passionate women who struggle with codependency and addiction, lack of money, and teach them to be rich, unapologetic, and create a business where they're consistently doing things their own way. I wanted to make this short and sweet. I wanted to know, have you ever considered developing a six-figure mindset with a six-figure mind map? Which kind of brings me into a bigger question is, are you happy? People ask you all the time, what do you do for a living? How many kids do you have? Where do you live? They ask you all these questions if you're going to have more kids, if you're going to have kids at all, if you're moving up in your career. But people don't ever ask you, are you happy? And they definitely don't stick around to find out if you are or not. And if you are you happy in all the areas of your life? Work, family, success, personal, body? Are you embodying the kind of person that you always wanted to be and always saw yourself being in a positive direction? Do you work in a career that lights you up? Are you living a life where you wake up and you can't wait to get out of bed to start living that life? You go to bed at night, easy, smooth, excited from the joy and the excitement and the euphoria that you've brought about in your day. And when you look in the mirror, the person that you see staring back at you, are you madly in love with them? Do you want to continue to see them grow and evolve and rise up and rise above? And you're really in tune with who they are? And if not, next question would be, why not? And are you really inspired? Are you fully present with your life in every aspect? And a lot of that comes from your mindset. And a lot of people can't get past anything because they're so worried about money. They're worried about their next paycheck. They're worried about how to put their kids through college. They're worried about their retirement. They're worried about parents. They're worried about themselves, their health care. And having thought about all those things at one time, more often lately as I age, I think about my daughter and what I'm kind of legacy I'm leaving for her. I'm also thinking about what I'm teaching her. And if she feels like she's getting what she deserves and she's able to enjoy the things that at her age she thinks, like right now we're talking about going to Disney World. I wasn't going to bring that up because I wanted to make sure she was ready to go and she would actually enjoy it and remember it. And I don't really want to go because I went so often as a kid. I'm kind of sick of Disney World. Actually, I have no real desire to go back, but she does. So therefore, I will figure out how to make it, mommy friendly for me so that I can tolerate going to Disney World with her because it's what she wants, and I want to be able to give her what she wants educationally and entertainment wise. I homeschool my daughter. I didn't want to miss a moment. Didn't want to put her in public school. Nothing against public school. I was a public school teacher for 8 years, public school principal for 2. I did some private school teaching and principaling too, but most of it was public school. Nothing against it. I'm a product of public education. I just wanted to be able to teach her myself and what I wanted to teach her when I wanted her to learn those things. And I didn't want to miss a moment. So teaching her at home was idealistic for me, and not idealistic, it was an ideal for me, something that I wanted. So that's what I pursued. And I wanted to take her on field trips and teach her the world and show her the world and have the world at her disposal, not spoil her, but let her show her what's possible. I didn't want her to fall into the example of, getting so excited about little things because that's all she's ever experienced. Like she doesn't have an idea there's a bigger world than just this little community. There's a bigger world than just the people she sees every day. It's important that she sees everything, and I'm able to give her that. And I like spoiling myself. I enjoy having great food, health care. I live in my dream house, drive my dream car. I love the community I live in. I like traveling. I like doing things, and I like being able to have that at my disposal. I'm not ashamed to say that I love money. I love what it can do. It allows me to be philanthropic, give back, spoil myself, spoil hers. And it allows me, the money that I create and the revenue I generate is from a passion-based business. And it helps me feel so good about myself that I created something that helps other people and I get to profit from that. How is that wrong? So if someone were going to send you money to create a business or create a life, and they were going to offer you this money in exchange for your expertise, your skills, your talent, would you say no? If someone was going to send you $800 to show them how to do something, would you say no? That you knew how to do. They were going to send you $2,400 to learn what you know, to pick your brain. Or if they wanted to pay you $4,000 to spend a couple hours with you to learn what you know, would you say no to that? Would you say, no, I don't want that? I don't know anything. What can I teach you? Everybody has a leverageable skill. Everybody can teach somebody something. The point is, would you have any objection to giving people knowledge that they would not otherwise have, that you possess, and to profit from it? Just a simple question. And I hope, for the sake of the conversation, you would say you didn't mind. You would want to give your expertise, and you'd want to profit from it, and you'd want to be paid for your expertise and your talent, knowing that there's nothing wrong with that. And so now that we've established that, now that we've gone over that, you have no objections to receiving money for expertise, let's move on. The six-figure mind map is how I teach you how to get your product, service, or package, your expertise, your brain, your knowledge out to other people and create a business based around that. It's not a game, it's not a scam, it's not a wet dream. It's just something as a product, a service that allows you to learn how the ins and outs of creating a six-figure business. There's no reason why we cannot have success and wealth. There's no reason why it's unavailable to you. None at all. You have the expertise, I'm sure. It's more about how to get that out to the masses so that they can pay you for it. Pay you for your knowledge. Pay you for your expertise. Why not? Having a six-figure month, having a six-figure year, there's nothing wrong with that. Having a five-figure month, which is $10,000 or more a month, what's wrong with that? What could you do with $10,000 a month? What could you do with $100,000 a year or $120,000 a year? What would you be able to do with that? Just sit back and meditate and think and really dig into how that would help you. You could give back, save, travel, put your kids through college, get a new car, pay off debt, retire with ease, help your family if you are close enough to them and want to give back in that way. You can donate to organizations that hold a mission that you feel important. There's nothing wrong with having money, and we've somehow gotten in our heads, some of us, that having money is wrong. There's nothing wrong with money, as long as you use it for the good. Now, if you're using it for evil, then that's not nice. And you can use anything for evil. You can use a knife to cut your food or cut someone's throat, but it's all about your mindset and what you find. Morals and values are not something that you utilize to do evil. Morals and values teach you what's right and what's wrong, and it helps you to maneuver in that system. But when you have an elevated mindset where you know that you're worthy of everything you want, and you're striving in the world to make it a better place, utilizing your skills and your talents, then you can't go wrong. You just can't. And if you're no longer willing to settle for scraps and live paycheck to paycheck and hope and pray that you get a raise every month or every year or how often they're given, you want to pay attention to what I'm saying. I don't care what your financial situation is right now, because if it's anything like what I think it is, you want it to be better. You want to get above $8.50 an hour. You want to get above $100 an hour. You want to get above $10 an hour. You basically want to stop giving time for money. You want to utilize all of your expertise and profit from that. It doesn't matter if you've come from a weird background. If you saw my background, you might not be as impressed as you think. If you file bankruptcy, if you can't balance a checkbook, all the things that you think are holding you back are just things that you can overcome if you choose to, if you really want to. If you don't want to, then don't. If you want to stick in the muck and mire and just, woe is me, the man's trying to keep me down, I can't ever get anywhere, then probably this isn't the life for you. I'm not the coach for you, because I don't believe in sitting in your muck and mire forever. If you're going to sit in it to find out what from it can you utilize and move forward with, not to sit there and get deeper and deeper and deeper until you can't get out. The only thing I care about, and I repeat, the only thing I care about, is how serious you are about making a life for yourself, a life that you love, a life that you're excited about, that brings you euphoria and joy and peace and happiness and all the things that you want. For me, it's waking up in my brand new, I just got this beautiful kind of duvet, big pillow thing. It's really comfortable. I haven't slept that well in years, if ever. And I face my bed towards the window, so when I wake up it's sun and the blue sky when I wake up, and I wake up to people deciding to choose to buy my products so they can make a better life, which excites me that people are choosing to make a better life for themselves and I get to have a hand in that. I wake up, I start teaching my daughter her lessons. She has different stations over the house depending on what lessons we're really honing in that day. We do field trips, we go to the store, we go walking. I want a dog, but I don't want the poop job, so I'm trying to figure out how to balance that. I like to travel. I like to go and do the things I like to do. I'm an introvert, but I still like to travel. You don't necessarily have to engage with people to travel. I like to teach her what's possible. It's very important to me to teach her what's possible. And I don't work all day. I used to slave. I used to feel like I was at my computer all the time, and people used to wonder when I did anything else because I was always at my computer, and I feel like if I was stepped away for 1 second, I was going to miss the biggest sale of my life. Well, now my business is on automate. I send out my vlogs. I have a YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe. I play with my daughter. I do the things that light me up so that I'm more available to serve my tribe. And it's important that you dedicate time to work, dedicate time to play, dedicate time for self-care, whatever that means for you. For me, it's baths. For me, it's meditation and yoga and, spiritual practice and sitting in silence and watching the television, whatever I plan to watch that day. I just bought a great movie that I almost couldn't find, but now I found it and I watched it. It was really good. And hanging out with people that I have a small social circle. In fact, it's almost invisible. It's very few people that I feel I can just be myself with. So those are the people that I do hang out with, but it's a small number of people. But I enjoy really honing my life, and I don't let people tell me how I should live anymore. I don't sit in a box created by someone else who decided the sum total of my value and my worth. I don't let people tell me how to live my life. I live unapologetically because at this point in my life, I can't see why I need to live with apology. And I utilize my time efficiently. I truly believe that time management is so important in anything that you do. Homeschooling, running a business, having a life, knowing that I need me time every single day, I have to be strategic about how I allocate my time. And you have to utilize what you have. You have to show the world what you're working with, and you have to use that. You may feel like your life, you were given all these lemons. Well, let me tell you what you can do. You can take those lemons and make a Boston sour. You can change the trajectory of your life. You can change how things are going. You can change what is and isn't possible for you because you decide. At some point, you have to take responsibility for your life, how it's going to roll out, and what's going to happen. And before you shrug everything off and say this is a bunch of BS and this isn't possible for you, just go take a look at the six-figure mind map. Excuse me. Don't make any brash decisions. Don't just blow it off. Don't look back and regret not looking. Just checking it out. What harm can it do? So it's the Mac Boss Soul Journey six-figure mind map bundle. It's my favorite bundle. I designed it myself. I have 2 other bundles also, but we're focusing on the six-figure mind map. And know that everything you want is yours to have. If it's nestled inside of you, it is yours to birth into the world. There's no reason why you cannot have the things you want. Anybody who ever told you that is a bunch of hogwash. You can have anything you want if you're willing to go after it. Now, if you don't want to go after it and you just want to sit there and cry wolf and boo-hoo, life is miserable, I'll never make it, then I'm not the coach for you. This is not the video for you. But if you are ready to take the bull by the horns and take life by the balls and live it the way you've always wanted to live, go for it. I challenge you, I dare you, and I would love to be your cheerleader. And in case you're wondering who I am, I'm Dr. Meredith Watson, the creator of the Phoenix Therapy Method, the unapologetic therapist who works with passionate women who struggle with codependency and addiction and lack of money and want to be rich unapologetically, business owners who live their life consistently on their own terms. Yes, men are included, but predominantly I work with passionate women, but I'm not opposed to working with passionate men. Their ability is just as great as anybody else. I have a daughter, and I love her with all my heart and soul. She gives me amazing joy, and I'm so grateful to be her mother. It's a difficult road, but it's worth it every single day, and I want to show her what's possible. I want to show her the tool that money can have and be for her and anybody that really takes the bulls by the horn. And money can really bring you a lot of joy. You can give back, you can be philanthropic, you can have access to excellent health care and food and travel and life. What's wrong with that? When someone you love needs help, you can give them the help that they need if you feel so inclined. And not worrying about money is a real stress reliever. It's one less thing to worry about. We have enough to worry about in life. Why let money be also one of the things we have to worry about? And money problems are deeply rooted in so many other problems. A lot of marriages, relationships break up over money problems. Why not alleviate that if at all possible? And why not live unapologetically? Most pain that I've found in my research and in my work and in my life has a direct result of people looking outside themselves for love, acceptance, validation, worth, sense of belonging, not knowing that it all comes from inside. A lot of people are struggling and they're dependent and they're codependent and they're in relationships and in situations hoping for that little glimmer of love and acceptance, belonging that they may or may never see. But if you bring that from the inside, if you bring that to the table, you don't have to worry about anybody else bringing it for you. You already came fully prepared and fully aware of who you are and your worth and your value. And a lot of pain, whether it's physical, emotional, psychological, emotional, addiction, codependency, stems back to the wanting the love, acceptance, validation, and belonging outside of yourself. And a lot of people let that diminish everything that they've ever wanted because they're so freaked out about what are people going to say, what are people going to do, how are they going to think of me. Let me give you a little tip. If they're not fucking you, financing you, or feeding you, they don't get a say. And even if they are, they're still not your God. They still don't get to say. One of the movies I just watched, it was really great. It's called Flatliners. I'm behind the game. It came out a couple years ago. But this little girl, she's not a little girl, she's 25. She walks out and she tells her mother, succeed or fail, I'm living on my own in my own terms, unapologetically, basically is what she said. And the mom didn't have anything to really say because we all deserve to be able to live on our own terms. At some point, when does our life get to be our own and our dreams get to come into reality? At what point do we say, no more, I'm going to live for me unapologetically and the way I want? At what point? At what point? And I hope if you're like me, it doesn't take 2 heart attacks in 16 months and having your entire life demolished and slapped in your face, because that was the worst wake-up call of my life. 2 heart attacks, 16 months, emotional upheaval, for me to finally learn that my life is my own. And I get to choose, and I get to live it the way I choose to live it, and I don't have to apologize to anyone or fit into anybody's box. And anyone who thinks I'm not worthy or less than, or I'm not living according to their law, doesn't get to be a part of my life anymore. Just that simple. If you don't like it, you can leave. There's the door. I'll even open it for you. But I deserve a life that I love, and I deserve a life where I'm happy and joyful and fulfilled and euphoric and lit up. Why not? I don't see why not. So if that's the kind of life you want, if you want to be rich, if you want to be unapologetic, if you want to be a business owner, creating a business consistently on your own terms that brings about revenue that you're proud of from a product that you're proud of, go check out the Six-Figure Mind Map and don't give up on it or poo-poo it until you go check it out. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will see you on the other side. Thanks for listening. Share this where you think it's appropriate. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, and I will see you on the other side.